year is 1947. The map of India has been violently redrawn. The ancient, vibrant land of Punjab is sliced in two, and its magnificent heart, the city of Lahore, is now in another country. Millions are displaced in one of the largest migrations in human history. A state rich in culture and history is left wounded, adrift, and without a capital city to anchor its administration, its identity, its future, all uncertain. The political game resulting in a wound that would not be forgotten for decades. In this void of loss and uncertainty, a question echoed across the plains. How do you not only rebuild a state but restore its soul? Although the loss could not be fulfilled, the answer came from India's first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru. He declared, and his words are the very foundation stone of our story. Let this be a new town symbolic of the freedom of India, unfettered by the traditions of the past, an expression of the nation's faith in the future. This was to be more than a city. It was to be a phoenix rising from the ashes of partition, a statement to the world that India was not defined by its wounds but by its dreams. Now, a dream of this magnitude needs a team of dreamers, and before the world famous architect arrived, the groundwork was laid by a committee led by the brilliant Punjabi chief engineer P.L. Varma, who was tasked with this mission. They were the original guardians of the vision. But to make a global statement, India looked to a global icon. Before the Swiss-French Maestro took the stage, the initial blueprint for this new city was drafted by an American team, the planner Albert Meyer and the architect Matthew Nowitzki. Their vision was for a garden city with a fan-shaped layout, its curving roads and super blocks designed to follow the natural contours of the land. It was a softer, more organic vision for the future. But fate intervened tragically when Nowitzki died in a plane crash in 1950. The project stalled, and the Indian government, seeking a new singular vision, turned to the most famous architect of the day. This pivotal moment shifted the city's destiny from an organic garden city concept to the monumental geometric grid that would become Le Corbusier's signature. A man whose name was synonymous with modernism, a visionary as brilliant as he was controversial. Charles-Édouard Jeanneret, better known to the world as Le Corbusier. Le Corbusier did not come alone. He was joined by a formidable team, including Maxwell Fry and Jane Drew, together with his cousin Pierre Jeanneret. While Le Corbusier was the grand conductor, Pierre was the first violin. He immersed himself in the project, and when the main work was done and Le Corbusier departed, but Pierre stayed for 15 years, becoming the city's chief architect, mentoring a generation of Indian architects and even designing the beautifully simple and iconic furniture you still see across the city. He made Chandigarh his home, and his soul is woven into its very fabric. The design philosophy extended to the smallest details of daily life, most notably in the furniture designed by Pierre Jeanneret. Created for the city's administrative buildings, university, and homes, this was not ornate, heavy furniture of the past. Instead, it was a masterclass in functional elegance. Using locally available and inexpensive materials like teak and cane, Jeanneret created chairs, tables, and desks that were lightweight, durable, and perfectly suited to the climate. His iconic V-leg designs were simple enough for local craftsmen to produce, yet have become globally sought-after design classics. This furniture was the final link in the chain, bringing the grand modernist vision of the city right into the rooms where people lived and worked. Pierre Jeanneret's greatest contribution was not just in wood and concrete but in mentorship. The Chandigarh School of Architecture became a living laboratory, and he nurtured a cadre of young Indian architects who would carry the torch forward. Figures like M.N. Sharma, Aditya Prakash, and Jeet Malhotra worked under the masters, but went on to define the city's continuing evolution. They weren't just executing a foreign plan, they were adapting it, interpreting it, and building upon it with a deep understanding of the local climate and culture. They ensured that Chandigarh was not merely a fossilized European idea on Indian soil. So, with this team assembled, the work began. Le Corbusier imagined the city as the human body. At its head, the majestic capital complex, the brain, the seat of thought, law, and governance. The heart is the commercial district, Sector 17 Plaza, the bustling, beating center of public life and commerce. The lungs, a masterstroke of design, are the green belts and the leisure valley that weave through the entire city, ensuring it is constantly refreshed with open space and clean air. The circulatory system is a brilliant road network called the 7 Vs. V1 are the major highways connecting to other cities. V2 are the main city arteries, and it goes all the way down to V7s, the pedestrian paths and cycle tracks that are the tiny capillaries delivering life to every doorstep. It's a system designed for seamless flow, separating fast traffic from the slow, peaceful rhythm of daily life. And the living cells of this body? These are the famous sectors. Each sector is a self contained neighborhood, a rectangle roughly 800 by 1200 meters. The size was deliberate. It's a human scale. It means you can live, shop, go to school, and relax, all within a 10-minute walk. It was a revolutionary idea. A city designed for people, not for cars. A city designed for community. Now, to walk through Chandigarh is to witness a bold new architectural language being spoken. This is the language of brutalism. The name itself has nothing to do with being brutal. It comes from the French béton brut, meaning raw concrete. In an India accustomed to the intricate carvings of Mughal architecture or the colonial grandeur of the British Raj, Le Corbusier's choice was a shock. He left the concrete completely exposed, showing the grain of the wooden planks used to cast it. Why? Because it was honest, it was strong, it was economical. It was a material that didn't pretend to be anything else. This was the architectural language for his thinking of a self assured India that had nothing to hide. His style was a revolution, built on his famous 5 points, lifting buildings on slender columns to free the ground, free flowing interior plans, non structural facades that allowed for long horizontal ribbon windows, and finally, turning the roof into a garden. This was architecture designed for light, for air, and for living. And nowhere is this philosophy more powerful than in how the city responds to its climate. Le Corbusier didn't fight the fierce Indian sun, he held a conversation with it. He designed the iconic bras soleil or sunbreakers, those deep geometric concrete fins that adorn the buildings. They are not just decoration, they are precisely calculated shields that block the high, harsh summer sun while inviting the low, warm winter sun inside. The building's thick concrete walls provide thermal mass, absorbing the day's heat and releasing it slowly at night, like the city is breathing in and out with the seasons. He even built the Tower of Shadows as a real life laboratory, to perfect his theories of shade and natural ventilation, making it not just a building but a climate responsive genius. This genius extends beyond the government buildings. Sukna Lake, a man made gift to the city, a serene water body at the foothills of the Shivaliks. Le Corbusier decreed there would be no motorboats allowed on the lake, preserving its tranquility forever. It is the city's place for contemplation, for evening walks, for solace, or walk through the great pedestrian plaza of Sector 17. It is the city's grand living room, a place for people to meet, to shop, to celebrate completely free from the chaos of traffic. It is the beating heart of the community. Coexisting with this highly structured modernist vision is an act of pure artistic rebellion and fantasy. The Rock Garden. This sprawling kingdom of scrap and dreams was the secret single handed work of Nek Chand, a government road inspector. For years, under the cover of darkness, he cleared a patch of jungle and used recycled and discarded materials, broken bangles, fused light bulbs, ceramic shards, and industrial waste to build a world of his own. When discovered, his illegal creation was on the verge of demolition, but public support was so overwhelming that the city embraced it. Today, the Rock Garden is a celebrated icon, a testament to the power of individual creativity. It provides a vital, whimsical counterpoint to Le Corbusier's formal geometry, proving that even in the most meticulously planned city, the human spirit can create its own organic, magical worlds. So, did this audacious experiment succeed? Let's look at the evidence. Number 1, in the Human Development Index, one of the cleanest, greenest, and wealthiest cities in the nation. A city that functions, that breathes, that nurtures its inhabitants. But a complete story must also be an honest one. This dream was built on a sacrifice. The land that became Chandigarh was once home to 28 villages. Their displacement is a poignant and necessary part of this story, a reminder that even our most beautiful dreams have a human cost. The success of Chandigarh has created its own modern paradox. The city was meticulously planned for a population of 500,000 people. Today, it has more than double that, straining the very infrastructure designed for perfect harmony. The revolutionary 7 V's road network, once a model of clarity, now grapples with a volume of traffic its creators never envisioned. The pristine sectors face pressure for densification, leading to a constant, crucial debate. How does a city so perfectly preserved as a heritage zone adapt and grow without betraying the original vision? It's a challenge that forces a new generation to reconsider the balance between preservation and progress. The city's complex identity extends beyond its physical form and into the very heart of regional politics. The initial dream was for a capital of the Indian state of Punjab. However, the Punjab Reorganization Act of 1966 carved the new state of Haryana out of Punjab's territory. In the process, Chandigarh was placed in a unique and contentious position. It was declared a union territory to serve as the shared capital for both Punjab and Haryana. What was intended as a temporary arrangement has become a permanent fixture of political life and a persistent source of friction. For decades, the question of Chandigarh's final status has remained unresolved, a poignant symbol of the region's unsettled history and a central claim in Punjab's own political narrative. Beyond the paradox of its own success, Chandigarh now faces an existential test from forces its founders could never have anticipated, including climate change. The elegant brise soleil and thick concrete walls were designed for the climate of the 1950s. But are they a match for the increasingly extreme heat waves and erratic monsoons of the 21st century? The second, and perhaps greater, challenge is the unplanned urban tidal wave at its borders. The explosive growth of satellite towns like Mohali, Zirakpur, and Panchkula, the Tricity, has created a chaotic, resource hungry periphery that threatens to overwhelm the meticulously planned core. This sprawl puts immense pressure on water, waste management, and the green belts, posing a fundamental question. Can a self contained utopia survive being engulfed by the very kind of unplanned growth it was built to prevent? Today, Chandigarh is more than just a successful city. It is a living, thriving idea. It is proof that human ingenuity, when fused with a deep respect for nature and a powerful social vision, can create something truly extraordinary. It is the story of a nation that, at its lowest moment, chose not to despair, but to build a testament to its unshakable faith in the future. As we stand here today, in a world facing its own immense challenges of urbanization and climate change, the story of Chandigarh is more relevant than ever. It asks us a profound question. It asks us to look beyond the temporary, the easy, the conventional. It asks us, what bold dreams will we dare to build for our future?